and the Diamondbacks have tied the series. Unbelievable. What a game. What a game, man. Oh, man, that might go down as one of the better postseason games I've ever seen, man. That was awesome. Man, Alek Thomas, man. Gabriel Moreno, the future of the Diamondbacks, coming through here. Alek Thomas has got to be just riding cloud 9 right now. Wow. Unbelievable. Everyone, we are about to start the post-game coverage. If you can, please, while people are trickling on in, hopefully the notification gets sent out. We have been struggling with these streams lately. I don't know. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing. I don't know if it's just an audience thing. I don't know. You know, for some reason, people have been just tuning out. But if you can help us out, please just hit that like button for us. It really does help with the algorithm. It would be greatly appreciated if you can do that for me. And here we go, everyone. Here we go. We're going to dive right into the post game here. I've got everything set. But if you are just trickling in, this, in my opinion, has been the best postseason. The best day of postseason baseball so far. I'll be honest with you. You've had a couple of good moments in this postseason. I feel like the most energy that we've had in this postseason so far was the Braves and the Phillies. You know, when you really think about it, that has been, in my opinion, probably the most juiced people have been. But it has been a bit of a downer of a postseason. It's just not really been very exciting. It's been, I feel like games have, they feel like they're decided pretty early. You haven't really had a lot of late game drama. You've had little moments here and there, but today, honestly, when you really think about days in postseason history, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe it's just because we've been lacking postseason drama in this 2023 postseason, but maybe, I don't know, this might go down as one of like the better days that you can think about, because you had just an awesome game between the Astros and the Rangers. I'll get to that game in just a little bit, but then you just have a drama-filled late game comeback from the Diamondbacks, a big-time home run. Those are the home runs that build the postseason legends, man. Alek Thomas coming through. A downer of a year. A downer of a year for Alek Thomas. When you look at it from the slash line, yeah, sure, he played pretty solid defense this year, but when you take a look at just the offensive numbers from him this year, he was a disappointment. In my annual biggest disappointment for each team video, I did label Alek Thomas as my biggest disappointment for the Diamondbacks this year. And I'm guessing maybe the guy watched it, because, I'm going to be honest with you. He's come through in probably the biggest way possible, and all of a sudden, the Diamondbacks are 2 wins away from returning to the World Series for the first time since 2001. And I'm actually working on a video as we speak. I'm going to be having a video posted tomorrow, and where I'm going to be going over the best postseason performances in history. And hey, you might see a little bit of Randy Johnson in there. You might see a little bit of Kurt Schilling in there. So be on the lookout for that. But Alek Thomas right now, what a moment. What a great moment for him. Sorry, everyone. I'm just getting everything set here. Okay, we are good to go. Sorry, I had to update the score ticker. But this is the kind of a moment that creates those stars, right? These are the moments that you look for in the postseason. And just what an awesome game here today. Honestly, you can kind of, there's so much really to break down in this game. I got notes galore as of right now. I see 100 people in here right now. Everyone, thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for joining the post-game show. But we might as well just start from the beginning here with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Honestly, I felt like at one point that 6th inning was going to be the deciding factor in this game. You had the Phillies, they loaded the bases there. They were just so patient at the plate, walking to load the bases. Then you had the ground ball to third, and you had Emmanuel Rivera, where I saw a lot of people going back and forth on this on Twitter. A lot of people saying, oh, this is why Evan Longoria should have gotten the start. Listen, that play that he made, it was just a weird hopping kind of a ball from Alec Boehm. It took a weird bounce. He had to go into foul territory. the guy couldn't even really get his feet set. It was a pretty tough play with the bases loaded. I was thinking to myself in the moment when it happened, I'm thinking, oh man, maybe you should have gone for the double play, step on third, and then, throw to first. But then I looked at the replay. I'm like, oh, he wasn't even anywhere near third at that point when he got the ball. And so really his only option at that point, because all of his weight and momentum were going towards the dugout at that point, his only option was to throw home. He had no good footing at all to really make a good throw. He did the best he could. And I saw people, like I said, saying Evan Longoria should have gotten the start at third base today. But when you look at the defense between the two this year, Rivera's actually been the better defender at third base. Longoria, and Rivera came through earlier in the game, getting some runs on the board for the Diamondbacks. So I'm not really sure why people were complaining about that exactly, but that sixth inning was huge. Trey Turner, really good base running from him. Trey Turner, this is a kind of a player where he brings a lot of intangibles, right? He can hit for that power. Obviously he can hit for a good average. Well, maybe the first half of the year this year, not so much, but he has the speed. He's a really solid defender out there, but he just has those instincts that really make him that much better. He's a very good when it comes to just making those decisions. That just takes a really good player, right? An excellent player. And that's part of the reason why he gets paid the big bucks, right? Because he made a really good decision there on the bases, coming home, getting the 2 runs there to make it 4-2 at that point. But that sixth inning, I really thought that was going to be the big one, right? And I thought that was going to be kind of where that game was decided. And then Trey Turner in the 7th inning with the sac fly made it 5-2. And then the Diamondbacks, I love that the Diamondbacks kept fighting. I love that they just kept coming for it, right? 7th inning, you loaded the bases up, and then you just wasted the opportunity. You got the Christian Walker walk, and then just unfortunately Corbin Carroll couldn't really come through. You had the fielder's choice, Pavin Smith grounding out to Bryce Harper. You kind of feel like at that point, this game is going to look like how a lot of these other games ended, right? Where, just you wasted your chance when you had it, and it was pretty much just going to end that way pretty much. Then at that point, I'm thinking, man, this has got to be over. But love the fight from the Diamondbacks. This is what I love, man. You gotta have that tenacity late in the game, being able to dig deep. That the Diamondbacks this year, they had a really solid season minus like a month and a half or two, where they are that team that was kind of hard to put down at times. And I just love the way they're just not laying down. And it's not because they just tied the series. It's just the fight that they had in this game. And even just going back to game 2, you had the Marte walk-off. By the way, apologies for that. Last night, I wanted to go live. I was actually going to go live right after that game, and my camera wasn't working last night. I don't know what the heck happened. But anyway, but game 2, you had the walk-off there, and people thought the game was lost when Fott got taken out, and I was screaming from the mountaintops, like, what are you doing? Why are you taking him out? Oh, here we go again, making another kind of a Kevin Cash, Rays analytical kind of a call. I go back to the early 2000s. That's when I became, the big baseball fanatic that I am. And I guess I'm a little old school, but I do embrace the analytics as well. But man, he looked so nasty. And then he got taken out. He looked so good. What was it? 9 strikeouts through 5 2/3, I believe. And he was looking phenomenal, and he took him out. But the Diamondbacks, they didn't let that get to him. They just dug their cleats deep, and they just won that game, and they got the Marte walk-off. Overall, just what a great game this was, man. And this was with a bullpen game. That's the crazy thing, is this was with a bullpen game. And you didn't have Gallen going today. You used Fott yesterday, like I mentioned. You didn't have Merrill Kelly. I just love the way this Diamondbacks team, they're just tough to beat, right? And, even go back to that game 2, with Kelly, and, and everyone was thinking like, oh man, Merrill Kelly, here we go. He got the Philly crowd all riled up now, saying they're not going to be as loud as the World Baseball Classic game between USA and Venezuela. And he ended up going out there and throwing a pretty decent game, right? This is a Diamondbacks team. They kind of have that dog in them. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just have like these hard-nosed kind of players, right? They're just going out there and they're just playing some ball. You know, does that make sense, right? They just have like this it factor sort of about them, and they just fight until the end, man. And you know, and I thought there could have been some other teams that could have been more like that. And I love that the Diamondbacks have really stepped up in this postseason. Unbelievable game, great game. You know, if you were to even go back, you know, early going, you know, Kyle Schwarber, you know, talking about the Phillies here a little bit. I'll get to Craig Kimbrell here in just a second. I know everyone's here to, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people are waiting to hear my thoughts on my old good buddy, Craig Kimbrell. But Kyle Schwarber, this guy's staying hot. He got the home run early on. That's his 4th home run of the series. Now, I said coming into this series, I was expecting him to get hot because it's not very often when Schwarber is going to lay down for a long time in the postseason, and he got hot. And hey, Brandon Marsh continues to have a solid postseason, but you know, you got the opening from Sanchez. Overall, you know, fine for the most part. You know, 1 earned run. You know, he had the error early on, so you know, so in the end, he gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. But the big story for the Phillies here was Craig Kimbrell, and Craig Kimbrell. I'm telling you this right now. You can't have Kimbrell pitch any other inning than the 9th inning. You have to have Craig Kimbrell in the 9th inning. There comes a point, and again, this is kind of like the Brandon Pfaadt thing, right? With, you know, going so heavy on the analytics. To me, Kimbrell is one of those guys. He is such a mental monkey. The guy's stuff, when he's on, he's almost unhittable. But when he is mentally off, he can just completely melt down. And I said to myself, when he came out for the 8th inning, I'm thinking, oh no. Like, you don't want to put Craig Kimbrell in the 8th inning. Look what happened. Remember the White Sox trade? He went there to, you know, be a setup guy. The bullpen looked phenomenal for the White Sox. Everyone was thinking the White Sox had the best bullpen in the history of the game. He's going to do some setup roles, you know, and he just implodes. He is a 9th inning guy, and it's such a weird thing. You can't even explain it. The guy, he needs that extra adrenaline to help him really hit that next level. You can't put Craig Kimbrell in the 8th inning. I'm sorry. You have to put him in the 9th. It's kind of like it's this weird requirement of Craig Kimbrell. Yeah, sure. He's had success, you know, in the 8th inning, 7th inning before. Yeah, he's had his moments. I'm telling you right now, you have to put him in the 9th. Trust me as a Red Sox fan. I promise you. He needs that adrenaline. He completely runs on it. The 8th inning is a completely different mode for him. It's a completely different mentality. I hope the Phillies learn their lesson here. You cannot take him out of the 9th inning. It's just how it has to be. In the end, you know, trust me, Craig Kimbrell has given me many heart attacks in the past. 2018, I thought I was about to go into a medically induced coma because of Craig Kimbrell. I was literally laying on my floor. I'm not kidding when I'm talking about this. You know, Game 4 between the Red Sox and the Yankees in the division series in 2018, I was literally laying on the ground on my back listening to the TV because I couldn't watch. It was that bad. It was like Craig Kimbrell might be, besides tonight, he might be the best pitcher or best athlete of all time to give you just near heart attacks on multiple occasions within a 10-minute window and then somehow just get out of it. I can't think of another guy. I know there's other guys out there, other pitchers that have definitely got putting you through the roller coaster. Craig Kimbrell might be the best of all time. He might be the GOAT at doing that to you. And tonight, unfortunately, it didn't work out. He could not wiggle out because he was not in the 9th inning. So in the end, listen, you know, the Phillies, they couldn't lock it down here in the end. You know, if we were to go back to just the lines, you know, for the Phillies, like I said, you know, Sanchez getting basically the opening today. You know, we used basically the opener. You know, and this is where, you know, maybe you would like a little bit more depth if you're the Phillies, right? But I think in the end, you got to feel good going into the next couple of games right, you got Zach Wheeler, you got Aaron Nola, probably for 5 and 6, and I would imagine probably Suarez will be Game 7. I'm not sure how they will do that exactly, but I mean, we can go to Fangraphs, we can go take a look to see kind of what they're projecting. I wonder if they've updated this, but as of right now, so they have not updated this as of right now. But they have Zach Wheeler for Game 5, Aaron Nola for Game 6, and then you got Ranger Suarez for Game 7. That's how it's listed as of right now. Listen, I'm telling you this right now. I know I got Diamondbacks fans in this chat. I know you're there. I know you're watching. I know you're listening. I know you're looking at my potato face right now. The Diamondbacks have a real shot here to get back to the World Series for the first time since 2001. Right? They don't got Kurt Schilling. They don't got Randy Johnson. They don't got Luis Gonzalez, but that's okay. Right? Because I think now, right, you had your tough times against Wheeler and Nola. But I have seen many times in the past where a lot of times it can flip-flop, right? Gallen and Kelly, they could not persevere in games 1 and 2. Wheeler and Nola, they had the edge. They were at home, right? You got Wheeler on the road here. You got Gallen at home. Listen, I'm saying this. You got to feel pretty good right now. You got to feel good because I think Gallen, he can make those adjustments. At home, got the crowd behind him. I think he can make those adjustments. You got to feel really good right now if you're a Diamondbacks fan. You know, yeah, Wheeler's going to be nasty. He's going to be tough to beat. That guy threw like 86 pitches in like, what was it, 6-7 innings, whatever it was. The guy looked unhittable. He was striking guys out left and right. But the Diamondbacks, I think they make the adjustments against Wheeler. And who knows? We'll have to see. Maybe Wheeler is just that freaking good. Maybe he is just that damn good, all right? And he comes out and he just throws another shutout, all right? But I don't know, man. I'm just thinking the D-backs got some momentum right now. But Gallen, right now, who would have thought Gallen would be like, you know, this X factor right now, right? He's your ace, but now it's on him. He has got to carry this momentum. How long can you keep up, you know, these walk-offs, right? I mean, my Red Sox had that magic in 2004 with Ortiz, but at some point, you're going to have your ace step up. You're going to have your guy. You're going to have your stopper. Yeah, they had fought. That was huge, but you need your ace to come through here, all right? Every postseason, anytime you want to win a championship, any team that has won a championship, you have your guy that is your stopper, all right? And, I'm not saying the Diamondbacks got to stop Philly momentum right now, but I think Gallen, he needs to keep it up here. That's what I mean, right? He needs to stop the Phillies from reversing the momentum going back to Philly. That's going to be huge for Gallen. He is now the X factor in this series because it's on him. And this offense, they need to just do something against Wheeler, right? Get a couple lucky hops, get a blooper here, a walk there. You got to be able to manufacture something against Wheeler, and Gallen has got to go out there, and he's got to have the start of his life in Game 5. He has to do it, right? This is the biggest start of Zac Gallen's life, and if he can get through it, listen, you got Kelly going back to Philly, and again, you just saw Nola, and I know the Phillies saw Kelly too, but Nola was really good. Maybe the Diamondbacks can make some adjustments, right? Maybe Kelly can even make some adjustments to maybe even have a better start against the Phillies. I like these D-backs right now. I do like the Phillies too. It's kind of hard to really go either way right now because the momentum is 50-50 at this point, right? Gallen is the difference maker here, but I am excited for this. I am absolutely excited to see what ends up happening here. This is a great series. I was hoping coming, because, you had 2-0 series leads for both. And it's like, man, can we just please get some drama? Like it's the postseason just felt so flat. Right. And thank God for today. We really needed this today. Everyone, I'm going to get to the Astros and the Rangers here, but if you can, hit that like button for me. The like goal for tonight is 100. If you can help us get to 100, I will love you forever. We are at 52 at the moment. Smash the crap out of that like button, just like all the home runs that you saw today from Alec Thomas. from Jose Altuve. And speaking of Jose Altuve, Jose Altuve is officially a postseason legend, in my opinion. Say what you want about the trash cans. Say what you want. I don't care what you say. You can keep on, banging those trash cans. You can keep making those comments. Oh, the Astros are cheaters. Are we still talking about the cheating thing? I don't know, man. Jose Altuve, this guy is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal. Look, I made a tweet earlier saying, I can't believe the Astros won, but I also can believe the Astros won because they are just that good. They're that good. It's like anytime you pick against the Astros, their feelings are hurt and they take it personal, just like Michael Jordan on the documentary where he's like, I took that a little personal, right? What was the quote that he said? I can't remember. Oh, and I took that personally, right? The Rangers had a 2-0 lead and they have now dropped the last 3. It is crazy where, this Astros team on the road, they are just so much better on the road. Like, it's crazy. Like, I was thinking that wasn't even going to be a big deal in this postseason. The Astros had their woes at home this year. I'm thinking it's postseason. The script always flips, right? None of that's going to come into play, and it's really coming into play here, right? They were not good at home, and all of a sudden, in Texas, they have just figured out Arlington. I don't know, man. It is crazy. The Rangers were this freaking close. Did this give anyone 2011 vibes? Did anyone else think that? Did anyone else think the Rangers, they're this close? Remember that? David Freese, ring any bells? Right? I mean, my goodness. Nelson Cruz out there in the outfield. Does that ring any bells? I thought that. I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go again. The Texas Rangers, once again, here they are. They have a chance to put their cleats on the throat of the Astros. Just like with the Cardinals, they were, 2 separate occasions where they were a strike away from winning the World Series and they couldn't get it done. And just like that, it happened again here. Jose Altuve, 26 career postseason home runs. That is second all time. 113 postseason hits. That is fourth all time. 54 RBIs in the postseason. That is seventh all time, tied with the great Albert Pujols, speaking of the Cardinals. Jose Altuve, at this point, to me, this guy is just a legend in the postseason. I think he's really going to go down as one of the all-time postseason performers. And I don't care what people say about all the trash can stuff, the sign stuff. Because they don't even get at me with the sign stuff. Because everyone was doing it. Everyone was doing it at that point. And it's like, the Astros are the ones that just got caught. Right? So, everyone was doing it. So, I don't even want to hear it. I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm just saying they shouldn't have been doing what they were doing, obviously. But I'm not taking anything away from Jose Altuve. That's basically my point. This guy, they 2021 making the World Series, last year winning the World Series. Here we go, another time where they are one win away from the World Series. It is phenomenal. Honestly, I really think we need to get to a point here where I think we need to start again. They're one win away. They need to, lock this down first. But if they get this win, and if they end up getting to the World Series, I actually really think you got to look at this Astros team, this run that they're having, since 2017. Sure, say what you will about that championship. But we're at a point now where this Astros team, this is going to go down as one of the most legendary stretches of all time. They got to get this done, though. But getting back to this game, and again, last night, my camera wasn't working. I wasn't able to go live last night. But a blowout for the Astros last night. Unbelievable. Speaking of Altuve, he had a big game. Abreu, big game. Alvarez, that guy's a monster. I said this the other night. I'm going to say it again with about 200 people in this chat. I'm telling all of you, I don't expect a cookie from this. I don't expect a reward. I'm just saying. I was saying that Yordan Alvarez was the next David Ortiz. I was saying that a year ago, and no one else was saying it. And all of a sudden, everyone's saying that about Yordan Alvarez this year. I know I keep bringing that up, but I'm not expecting any rewards or cookies from it. I would like some cookies. That sounds phenomenal. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad. My point is I'm glad people are finally starting to see Yordan Alvarez as just this dude in the postseason. He's just like, is he bigger than David Ortiz? He seems like it. The guy's a monster. Anyway, but for this game, kind of just breaking it down, I'll go back to the beginning. The Astros, they really put themselves in a great position in this game. They just came out firing early. Bregman with the home run. The Rangers were answering back, though. This is a really good game. Lowe answered back with the homer in the fifth, made it 1-1. Abreu is having a great postseason. What is up? Listen, I'm going to say this. Are some of these players, like, watching some of my stuff, the biggest disappointments for each team? Because I'm telling you, some of the players that I picked for the biggest disappointments for each team, they have been balling out in this postseason, right? Alec Thomas was the one that I had for the Diamondbacks. Jose Abreu was the one that I had for the Astros. And all of a sudden, these guys are just performing. Jose Abreu has been great this postseason. Actually, let's go take a look at the numbers with Jose Abreu this postseason. Right, 257 average, whatever, but he's got a 962 OPS this postseason. That's what they signed him for, right? This is the number that they were looking for. They didn't get it all. They didn't get it all season, but he's coming through at the right time. But the big moment was Adolis Garcia, man. Wow. What a moment for Adolis Garcia there. Like, huge 3-run shot. And that brings me to the next point. The eighth inning. Adolis Garcia up at the plate again. Gets hit by the pitch. Bench is clear. Finally, some drama, some division rival drama in the postseason. Isn't it phenomenal? It just brings me back to the good old days with the Red Sox and the Yankees. 2003, Pedro throwing Don Zimmer on the ground. Oh, good times. Gotta love it. Manny Ramirez just start yelling out at Roger Clemens when Clemens didn't even throw anywhere near him. That's what you gotta love that, man. Two division rivals, ALCS, clearing the benches. That's the juice that you need. And Adolis Garcia, my opinion on that, and because this was a debate on Xland, the most friendly place on earth. People were saying, did they hit him on purpose? No, I don't think they hit him on purpose. But what I do think they did is I think they were just trying to make him uncomfortable, right? They were trying to go inside on him because this is a guy that's just been terrorizing them, right? This is a guy that's been having a really good postseason, right? He has just been torturing some of these teams, and he's been having himself a pretty decent series overall in the postseason. He's hitting .913. He's a power threat, and you're trying to keep the game close. I personally think they were just trying to go inside on him. It's the eighth inning. You're down by a couple of runs. You're not hitting the guy on purpose. Not in the postseason. Maybe the regular season. Yeah, I could see that. You're not doing that in the postseason. I guarantee. And they had a runner on. They had no outs. Come on. You're not hitting him on purpose. I do think they were trying to come in on him, though. They were trying to give him an uncomfortable at-bat. Of course, players don't like it when you come inside on them, right? And they don't obviously like getting hit. But I do think Adolis Garcia, did he? Because my first thought when he hit the home run, right? He had the celebration, and I'm wondering, did the Astros maybe take a little offense to that? Because he kind of slammed his bat on the ground. Did they take a little offense? But then I thought about it. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Because it's not in the postseason, not this Astros team. This Astros team, I think, wouldn't do something like that. These guys in the postseason, they're not caring about hitting a guy, right? They're caring about winning a game, and they're caring about winning a championship. So I personally don't think the Astros were coming after him. Again, I will say it one more time. I think they were just trying to come in on him. They were just trying to really make him uncomfortable up there because this guy is living comfortably at the plate. So, yeah, and I think it just got a little too inside, and he hit him. That's not a situation where you hit a guy. And I'm seeing people all over Twitter, oh, you hit him on purpose, all right? No, I don't think he was hitting him on purpose. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the chat. But then, bottom of the ninth, right? Or, sorry, excuse me, top of the ninth. Jose Altuve. Dude is a postseason legend. 26 home run, 3-run shot. I mean, what else is there to say? There's nothing else to say about Jose Altuve, in my opinion. I think this is a guy who has been vilified. He has gone through a lot in the last few seasons. And hey, I'm not, saying the Astros were any bit right in that whole situation. But the guy has gone through a bit. He had the whole, right, ripping the jersey off, and people were, coming after him for that, thinking there was a wire under there or whatever, and he didn't want to rip it off. And people were like speculating, like, oh, is there like a wire under there or something? And people were looking for everything. People were looking at every possible picture and digging for every clue to find a buzzer or like a wire or whatever it was. And then I remember there was one picture. I remember it almost got me. I remember because they had like confetti falling down all over the place. And there was like one piece of confetti on him. And people were saying, look, there's the tape. There's the duct tape. See? The duct tape is right there. Ended up just being a piece of confetti. So anyway, but Altuve, I don't know why these guys, to me, it's like, I'm just walking this guy. Like, I don't know, man. Like, is he just that good? Or are these pictures just like not really seeming to understand, how to picture this guy? I don't know, man. He is just something else in the postseason. I can't even describe. He's just good. Jose Altuve is just really good. I don't know. I'm just saying. Remember, he missed a lot of time this year. He came back, and he was really good. Remember, he hit like 3 home runs in Kansas City. What was it, like 5 home runs over like a 3-game stretch or whatever it was? I can't remember exactly. But Jose Altuve is just really good. Remember 2020? Right? He kind of had that really bad season. It was a short season, but he looked awful that year, and it kind of took him a little bit to kind of really get back into it. He's, he was going through some injuries. But Altuve, man, I mean, it's just really cool to see, and I think it's a pleasure to see this kind of a performer in the postseason. This is what we watch the game for, right? We look for these moments. These are the moments that you go back to 15 years from now when YouTube is YouTube X or something. Who knows what YouTube is even going to be called in 15 years. But these are the moments where you're like, man, remember that Altuve home run in Texas? Remember that 3-run shot? Put the Astros up 3-2 in that series, ended up going on to, maybe going on to the World Series. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But these are the moments that you look back on 10 years ago, right? I still go look up awesome moments with the Red Sox. I was just looking up Josh Beckett earlier in 2007 against the Rockies. The guy was phenomenal in that postseason. But Altuve, he's fantastic. The Rangers did have a chance there in the bottom of the ninth. Garver had the single. Heim had the single. But then Semien, Seager could not come through. These are your 2 big bats. And, Seager's been really good in this postseason. I'm not taking anything away from him, but that is a spot you would like Corey Seager to really come through. But just give a lot of credit to Presley, honestly. And then Semien, I think Semien really kind of did a number on the Rangers today. Listen, when your leadoff guy is not going, it's going to kind of stunt the rest of your lineup a little bit. I'm a believer in that. And especially in postseason games, when that leadoff guy is not productive at the top of the order, you're just in line, I think, to probably lose a game, right? I know there's definitely been some games where the leadoff guy doesn't really come through, and then you got other guys that pick up the slack. But I think Semien today, that really hurt them. 0 for 5 today. He's having a really bad postseason, only hitting 159 this postseason with a 418 OPS at this point. They really need him to step up. If the Rangers somehow make it to the World Series, Semien is a guy I will look out for to heat up in that World Series, just like Schwarber has this in this National League Championship Series. Semien's got to start picking this up because they're now down, they're facing an elimination game. So I'm hoping Semien can really come through. Do they go with a bit of a different lineup? Do they take Semien out of this leadoff spot? Do you go maybe Seager in the leadoff spot? Do you stick with it? Do you maybe go Young in the leadoff spot? Ranger fans, let me know. Let me know. What would you do here? Would you take Semien out of the leadoff spot at this point? Because, he's just not getting it done. I don't know. And you're facing an elimination game. I'm really curious, Rangers fans. I'm really curious to see what you think. But, Evan Carter, this guy can't do it all in the postseason, man. He went 1 for 4 today, scored a run, had a walk, struck out twice. But he had that spot at the end. He struck out. Evan Carter's having a phenomenal postseason as a rookie. He basically just came up like a month ago. And, unfortunately, he just couldn't come up with a big spot there. So the Rangers, they're now looking at an elimination here. And, they used Montgomery today, so they're not going to have him to lean on. He pitched really well today, and I'm very, very sad for Montgomery, honestly. He had a really solid start today. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, and he had that spot there. And, I'll get, I've been really raving about Jose Altuve here. But what the heck was Jose Altuve doing bunting? Can someone please tell me why Jose Altuve was bunting with 2 outs with runners on the corners? I will never, ever, 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 ever understand that move. Was that a mistake? Was that a misread on the signals? Why is Jose Altuve bunting? Was he just trying to catch him by surprise? I don't know. You could see Altuve with the bunt that he laid down. It was just like he knew it was a terrible decision, right? The immediate reaction from Altuve was all you needed to know. But that was a very confusing moment. That's something, if the Astros lost this game, that's the moment you go back to, right? And that's kind of like the scapegoat moment of the game of why you lost. But luckily for the Astros, they figured this out in the end. And Altuve, it's like I don't know. I'm curious to see who made that call. Was that Altuve that did that? Was that an audible? Was that a coach call? Was that a manager call? I'm very curious about that. So, but either way, Altuve did make up for it with the big shot in the 9th inning. And Verlander, and they really bailed out Verlander here. Because Verlander, it looked like, here we go again. Here are those postseason demons, right? Gave up the shot there to Garcia, right? He hit that ball so high. It looked like they were all just like looking straight up, right? Just leave it. But, Verlander, he wasn't bad today. It was just that one bad pitch, honestly, that really just kind of ruined his line overall for Verlander today. 5 2/3, the 4 earned, right? Did give up the 2 homers, but the big one to Garcia, didn't have the strikeouts going very much today. Only 3 Ks on the day. It's a tough Rangers lineup, man. Tough Rangers lineup. But in the end, and then, you got to talk Leclerc here. Leclerc, unfortunately, they've really had to lean on Leclerc a lot. And I wonder if that maybe kind of came back, to, I don't know. I don't want to say that came back to bite the Rangers a little bit because they have been using Leclerc a lot. And I don't know. I don't want to say, because obviously you've seen many closers in the past where they've just come through big time in the postseason. And, but Leclerc, I don't know, just made a bad pitch. So he was having a great postseason up to this point. So that's a bummer. That ERA all of a sudden looks really high, but up to this point, his ERA was looking really good. So moving on with the Astros having a 3-2 lead, they are now facing an interesting situation here. Now, I will say here for the Rangers, I am absolutely expecting a Game 7. Absolutely expecting it. Nathan Eovaldi, this is a stopper kind of a guy. Trust me, I know me some Nathan Eovaldi. My Nasty Nate days, those are the fun days, right? Watching Nathan Eovaldi until, like 3 in the morning. Felt like 4 in the morning at one point over in L.A., pitching into the 18th inning. The guy's phenomenal, right? In the postseason, Nathan Eovaldi is someone else, man. And I think for the Rangers, you still feel good about this one. You are, and that's another thing too. The Astros are going back home. I hate doing that. I hate doing that, because I like to not think that there's something with that home thing for the Astros, but the proof is in the pudding, and they just keep proving you're wrong, right? And it's like the Astros, they can't seem to figure out this home thing. So the Rangers have a couple of things going for them. You got Eovaldi for Game 6. That's your stopper. Framber Valdez has not looked good for a little while now. It's not just the postseason. Framber Valdez has not looked good going back to what is one of his last starts of the season against Kansas City. He hasn't looked good here for like a month. So Valdez, can he get this figured out? I believe in Nathan Eovaldi in Game 6. I think he's going to come out firing. I think Eovaldi's going to throw a heck of a game in Game 6. But then the question is Game 7. If they do make it to the Game 7, which, listen, I said coming into this series, it should be a Game 7. Wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being like a short series either way, because these teams can just beat the crap out of each other, and they kind of do it in like chunks. So, but it should have been a Game 7 from the get-go, and I hope it ends up being a Game 7. If you do end up getting a Game 7, Max Scherzer scares the absolute crap out of me. If I go Game 7 with Scherzer, I got 1 foot on the top step, and I have that phone ready. As soon as I see a sign that he is just not with it that day, I am warming up that bullpen. Dude, I'm warming up that bullpen. I'm warming up that bullpen in the beginning of the game, to be honest with you. Scherzer scares me that much. So, Ranger fans, I think you should feel good still. I know this was kind of like a punch in the face. You literally just got your face just beat in. I know. I know that feeling, right? You had the game. It was right there. You were about to win it. And it just got taken out of you. It was ripped from your heart. It was just ripped from the inside of you. And now you're going to bed sad. You were about to go to bed happy. You were literally about to take your pillow and snuggle it all night with a smile on your face. And now you are going to be holding that same pillow with tears rolling down your face. And I'm sorry for that, because I know that feeling. I'm sorry. But I think you should feel okay going into Game 6. I think Nathan Eovaldi is going to come up big time. I think a big question mark is Semien. Do they stick with Semien in that leadoff spot? But in the end, this was a fantastic day of baseball. This was needed. I'm thinking Major League Baseball. Did they feel it too? Did they get that script rolling? Was their script guy not awake this postseason? Did he go on a vacation to Cancun or something? The script guy was not coming through. And Major League Baseball, I think they were feeling it on this Friday night, and they said, "All right, script guy. All right, we got to get some juices going here. We got to get the ratings up a little bit. Let's get some, a couple good games." I think the script guy really came through tonight. Hey, thank God. Thank God for the script guy. But you really needed this. This postseason, honestly, it was like a drag, and I've been seeing it with my views. I've been seeing it. The views have been like down. There was a point where, I got 400 or 500 people in the chat. And just the other night, I barely hit 100, right? And no one was into this postseason. It's crazy. Go all the other baseball channels too. The views have just been down. It's, we needed this, and I can see tonight you are energized, right? Even if you don't even like any of these teams, I'm sure there's some of you out there that are pretty juiced up and they're oh, cool, good baseball. Because here's the thing, we all love baseball. But we do want some excitement, right? And we got that today. Great day of baseball. Everyone, let's just see where we're at with the likes here. We hit 100 likes. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. We hit our like goal. If anyone else can smash the crap out of that, I will love you forever. But everyone, let's get to some news here. If you've been paying attention to the Red Sox lately, the Red Sox can't hire anyone because they fire everyone. And John Henry, that guy, he made the phone call. "Hey, Heim, Come on in, buddy. We got to have a little bit of a chat. Hey, we got to let you go, man. We got to let you go. We got to find someone else. John Henry goes back into his office, probably fixes his tie up a little bit, smile on his face, takes his comb, combs his hair back. He's feeling pretty good about himself. Yeah, we're going to get ourselves a new guy to lead the front office. He's going to lead us to the promised land. He's going to get us back to the World Series. You know, Heim, he was a nice guy, but yeah, forget that guy. We're going to go get someone that's even better. Hey, John Henry. Hey, man. How's that going for you? How's that going? Where are the Heim haters? Where are you? All the Heim haters are really quiet lately. They were all on top of their soapboxes when Heim Bloom got fired. Where are they? Oh, because last time I checked, we can't find anyone. There's no one. Kim Ung turned down the Red Sox today. Kim Ung, who just got let go from the Marlins, didn't want to talk to the Red Sox. No one wants to go to the Red Sox. No one. No one. Gabe Kapler is now a possibility for the Red Sox. It looked like Craig Breslow the other night. Now it's Thad Levine on the Twins. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know what is going on. Jason Varitek could be a candidate to be the next manager for the San Francisco Giants. Please don't take Jason Varitek away from me. Please. Please. Danny Mac Jr., you are right. I apologize. So, yes, I let me correct myself on Kim Ung. What I mean when I said let go is that they didn't want to give her, they wanted to hire someone above her. So I almost kind of looked at it as, because she was going to get a demotion, right? She did walk away from it. In a way, I kind of almost look at it. They did part ways mutually, right? But she was going to get a demotion. So that's what I was thinking that in my head. But you're right, though. You're right. She did not get let go. I apologize. That was wrong. But she was going to be getting a demotion with the Marlins, which, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know what to say. I don't know who is going to be the next guy for the Red Sox. Beats me. Jason Varitek, he could be gone. Please don't take Jason Varitek away from me. I need Jason Varitek. We got Kyle Teal down in the minor leagues. I need Jason Varitek to teach that man everything. Do not take away VTech, please. But the Red Sox are having a really tough time right now. They can't find anyone. Gabe Kapler, who can't keep a manager job. The dude looks fantastic. He is built like a machine. He's probably the most handsome man in baseball. I don't want him as my GM. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't want it. I don't need it. No. And I don't need it. I'm sorry. I would like Gabe Kapler in the organization. I just don't want him leading the way. He just doesn't give me that vibe that he's going to go out there and make the moves. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but they're interviewing everyone. It seems everyone they can find. I mean, they're getting the janitor that's outside. Hey man, you want to come in for an interview? You looking for a GM job? Sir, I mop floors. That's okay. You can come interview for the job. They're going to all the Dunkin' Donuts around the corner in Boston right now, asking people that work there, hey, you're thinking about maybe being the president of baseball operations for the Red Sox? They can't find anyone. Oh, goodness. This offseason coming up is looking like it's going to be a fun one for the Red Sox. Goodness gracious. Anyway, but that's pretty much all the news here. So keep your eyes on this. Maybe Jason Varitek can finally get that first manager position. Maybe the Red Sox can actually hire someone to help us this offseason. My goodness. But everyone, I'm going to start getting out of here. I am pretty much wrapping this up. I feel like there's not too much else to talk about. For tomorrow, we do have only one game tomorrow night. We got the Phillies and the Diamondbacks on at 8:07 Eastern time in Arizona. And then the Rangers and the Astros are back at it on Sunday night. So, hey, good solid weekend of baseball. This was a great day. But everyone, before I do get out of here, don't forget about our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. In my opinion, the more I play Underdog Fantasy, to me, it really is just such a great way to do daily fantasy. If you're not into the season-long fantasy games, you're having trouble keeping track of your team, you got to go check out all the daily fantasy options out there. And Underdog, to me, I think is easily one of the best out there. I know people have their preferences about things, but I think they just do an amazing job here. You can do pick'ems. You can go over under, right? You got LeBron James here. They're doing a special on LeBron James, but you got football coming up for this weekend, all the football, and obviously we got the baseball too. So you can make your picks for the Diamondbacks and the Phillies tomorrow. They have not loaded yet, so you have to check back. But they already have Nathan Eovaldi, Corey Seager, right? You got Framber Valdez, you got Yordan Alvarez, Altuve. Honestly, at this point, maybe you got to pick Altuve for a big game. But go check out the pick'ems here. You can also do drafts. You got these drafts that you can do. Like I said, we got Sunday football obviously coming up. I know a lot of you are into the Sunday football. So go maybe check out these, right, and do the pick'ems for the football this weekend. I'm not as sharp with the football stuff, so I don't know. You're all probably better than me. I'll give you that. And hey, we even got preseason basketball at the moment, right? Is it still preseason? I don't even know what's going on with basketball. I don't even know what the heck's going on with basketball. Are my Celtics going to be good? I think they just got Drew Holiday. I think is that what they got? Something like that. Anyway, but everyone, go check out Underdog Fantasy. The link is in the description down below. If you use my code HYDE, you get a double on your first deposit up to $100. That's a pretty snazzy deal, if you ask me. Everyone, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for the turnout tonight. We had been struggling a little bit with this algorithm lately. Tonight was awesome. We got up to a lot of viewers tonight. It's always great to see all of you. You all make this really fun to do, right? When there's more people in here, when I see all of you interacting in the chat, it's always just really fun for me, and it just really makes it that much better for me to do this. So again, thank you for coming out tonight. I know we had a super chat. Let me go pull this up here. I completely forgot about the super chat earlier. I just didn't stop talking. But let me go check out this super chat here before I do get out of here. Let me go to, let's see 1 second, everyone. I believe it was a $20 super chat. Whoever that was, you're amazing. You're amazing. Well, let me pull this up because I can't leave without reading it. Here we go. Alrighty, what was the super chat? Exton Stone, $20 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Rangers have a chance to emulate the 2019 Nationals for the next 2 games. I mean, you got a pretty good point here. Honestly, I do think the Rangers have a really solid chance. I mean, I talked about Nathan Eovaldi earlier. When it comes to the postseason, you need stoppers. I've said that word a few times during this stream, but you need those guys that are really just going to step up for you, guys that you can count on, that you can hand the ball to, and you have the utmost confidence in them. Because of that, they absolutely have a chance to win the next 2 games. Who knows what the heck happens with Scherzer? I don't know. A veteran guy like that, you can always have a little bit of faith, because of the experience that they have, that they could do something for you. It makes me think of Curt Schilling back in 2007. Wasn't really at his best, right? He didn't really have the same stuff. His velocity was down. But a veteran guy like him just ended up finding a way to help the Red Sox out in that postseason. So I think Scherzer, he can have that effect. He can. He just, maybe that first start that he had in Game 3, maybe that ends up being a good thing because he needs those reps. He needs those pitches thrown to really just get himself back into some kind of a rhythm. So I would imagine he would be better for a Game 7. Do they even go with Scherzer for Game 7? Do they go another route? Do they do something a little different? I don't know. Do you maybe go Montgomery on short rest? Is that a possibility? I don't know. Maybe they don't even go with Scherzer for a Game 7. But I think with Eovaldi, with the ball in his hands in Game 6, you got to feel confident. They can absolutely win the next 2 games. So we'll have to see. But the Astros, they've been doing this. Are we going to see another Astros World Series appearance? I'm just saying, preseason pick. I did pick the Astros to get to the World Series. And I'm always wrong about my picks. So that must mean the Rangers are going to go back to the World Series. So everyone, I'm out of here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to all the members that came in tonight. NJ Fuentes, Respecter, thank you for stopping by here tonight. Always greatly appreciate it. The moderators, Nicholas, thank you for helping out here tonight. Always appreciate it. I'm seeing a lot of the familiar faces in the chat as well. We got Danny Mack. We got Nando. We got Sarah Gomez. Danny Mack, how you doing? So all the familiar faces. Rafael Diaz, Scotty C., Exton Stone, again, thank you for the super chat. Christian Rodriguez, everyone. Always appreciate you stopping by. But, yeah, let's try and maybe go live again tomorrow night. Who knows how much juice there will be for that one. I will probably go live, do a quick post game. Hopefully we got another juicy game. I would love that. So, everyone, have yourself a great night, and I'll talk to you next time.